Welcome to the first ever Docusign Discover. This is an annual event made explicitly for you, our customers, and the builders, the system integrators, developers, and the entrepreneurs who build on Docusign and connect e-signature with the places where business is done. In the e-signature space, you're prolific. I bet you didn't know that in the last 12 months, Docusign customers have committed over 1.2 billion signatures, and over 500 million of those came through API integrations. Which is why, as we unveiled the intelligent agreement management category earlier this year, we wanted to make sure we brought you along on this journey as we expand beyond e-signature. The opportunity before all of us is enormous. We built the new Docusign IAM platform because until now, agreement management has been a morass of disconnected systems and processes with impossible to find agreements, depriving your business of its main sources of truth. We call this the agreement trap. Contracts and agreements locked away in the digital equivalent of a dusty old file cabinet, never to be seen again. Hidden away, inaccessible, squandered. It's like owning a treasure map and never looking at it. And that treasure is worth $2 trillion, according to Deloitte's 2024 analysis of agreement management. Poor agreement management practices and systems are one of the most expensive drags on businesses today. That's where you come in. You, the developers, the builders, the entrepreneurs. You have the power to turn this problem on its head. You're the ones who can unlock that $2 trillion of lost value. And you, the admins and users of Docusign, are the ones who benefit from the largest collection of applications and extensions focused on agreement management. Earlier this year, we began to break free from the agreement trap with the launch of intelligent agreement management and new platform services like Docusign Navigator, Docusign Maestro, and Docusign AI. But that was just the beginning. A $2 trillion problem creates a lot of opportunity for those willing to fix agreement management. So much so that I think it's one of the last great white spaces in enterprise software. That's why we're here today. Not only is this the first Docusign Discover, it's the world's first developer event focused on agreements. This is your chance to be the first wave of developers in the intelligent agreement management space with a meaty $2 trillion problem to solve. And for customers, this is your view into what's possible now. You'll see how a vibrant and healthy developer platform and ecosystem creates new ways for you to innovate for your company and stakeholders. The agreement trap is too large for any one company to solve alone. It's a challenge that calls for teamwork and collaboration. That's why today we're announcing Docusign for Developers, a powerful new suite of tools designed specifically for you to build solutions that extend far beyond e-signature and unlock the full potential of agreements. This is your opportunity to rewrite how business gets done. This powerful new suite of developer tools, along with an improved developer experience and developer community, will help you create applications that tackle the agreement trap by extending the capabilities of our IAM platform and the trust and confidence that comes with the Docusign brand. Once you've built apps and extensions, you'll be able to self-serve publish into the App Center and reach Docusign's 1.6 million customers. Next, we'll be joined by Workday, SAP, and Sandbox Banking. And later, we'll see how Quick built on top of the Docusign IAM platform and how we're working with Microsoft to connect Copilot. Thank you for coming today. It's not often you get to create a whole category for modern business. We're thrilled to be on the ride with you. And now let's join Rebecca Demon, our Vice President of Product, for a closer look at how we're driving the development of intelligent agreement management.
Thanks, Alan. Today, we're going to dive deeper into our vision for intelligent agreement management and explore the pivotal role that our partners are playing in bringing this vision to life. What if agreements weren't just signatures on a document? What if they were dynamic assets, powering workflows across your company? Agreements that weren't just stored, but actually worked for you, driving insights, automating processes, and accelerating decisions. That's the vision behind Intelligent Agreement Management, or IAM. And it starts with a new blueprint for how agreements should work. Let me take you through this journey. We start with the create phase, where agreements are authored, generated, negotiated. Imagine you're creating an agreement, whether it's an offer letter, a procurement contract, or a sales deal. The creation process should be seamless, pulling data from the tools you already use, like Workday or Salesforce, so that every agreement is personalized, accurate, and ready to go, without the painful back and forth that slows you down today. In the creation phase, agreements come to life, powered by data. You're not building from scratch. IAM knows what's needed, filling in key details, tracking edits, and automating approvals. It's faster, more efficient, and more accurate. Followed by the commitment phase of the agreement process, where identities, signatures, and data are verified. With IAM, we're embedding trust, verification, and security directly into the agreement process. Imagine this. Not only are signatures captured seamlessly, but data is verified in real time without your teams needing to lift a finger. The agreement becomes more than just a document. It's a living part of your business process, validated and trusted at every step. Once the agreement is signed, the role of the agreement is far from over. In reality, the most important work is just beginning. And this is where IAM really shines. The data inside these agreements is transformed into actionable insights. Insights that help you track upcoming renewals so you're ready to negotiate the best terms on time, as well as avoiding those expensive auto-renewals. Or insights that spot opportunities to take advantage of those well-negotiated terms so that you can deliver on time to avoid penalties or maybe pay early for significant discounts. IAM can also help you understand the breadth of the situation when there are changes to local or federal laws by quickly identifying impacted clauses in existing agreements. Your agreements hold valuable information. Information that IAM unlocks, turning those important, well-negotiated terms into actionable value. That's the power of the management phase. Now, let's talk about what powers all of this. Intelligent Agreement Management is powered by the Docusign platform. At the heart of IAM are 4 key platform services. Docusign AI makes every stage of the agreement process smarter. It turns agreement data into insights you can act on, helps streamline preparation and review, and makes agreements easier for all teams to manage. Maestro, the low-code, no-code tool that automates workflows so you can create agreement-based workflows without writing a single line of code. Navigator is your home for agreements and the foundation for unlocking the agreement trap with AI, no matter where the agreement originated. And finally, App Center, the place for discovering and distributing apps that extend the IAM platform to Docusign customers. These aren't just tools. They're the building blocks for transforming agreements. They help you create, commit, and manage agreements from end to end. And they're all part of the IAM platform that's ready for you to build on or extend. But here's where our vision broadens. IAM is about more than just Docusign. It's about an entire ecosystem of partners, developers, and entrepreneurs working together to unlock the full potential of agreements. Today, our partners are building apps and solutions that extend IAM in ways we couldn't have imagined just a few years ago. This ecosystem is creating new ways to unlock the agreement trap for every line of business. So, where do you fit in? Whether you're a developer, a business leader, or an entrepreneur, IAM gives you the power to transform how agreements work inside your organization and for your customers today. To show you what's possible, let's dive into a story that every HR team and hiring manager can relate to: trying to close a new hire quickly. Workday is one of the world's leading HR platforms where agreements play a crucial role in hiring, onboarding, and managing talent. But managing HR agreements, as many of you know, isn't easy. It's full of frustrating bottlenecks and manual processes that slow everything down. To help shed light on how Workday and Docusign solve this problem, please join me in welcoming Andre Salzar, Head of Partner Innovations at Workday. Andre, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Rebecca. At Workday, our mission is pretty simple. It's to help organizations manage their most valuable asset, their people. But as HR professionals know all too well, the reality of managing HR agreements is anything but simple. Let's take a look at one of the biggest challenges we see: hiring at scale. Imagine this. You're at a fast-growing company. You've spent weeks searching for the perfect candidate, and now you're ready to send them an offer letter. You want to move fast and make a great impression, but then you hit the wall right at the close, which is the dreaded paperwork. The process of creating, sending, and tracking offer letters is time-consuming, error-prone, and really manually intensive. Meanwhile, your candidate is still being pitched competing offers by other companies, and work is piling up as the hiring manager stretches to cover the work of the open role. You really want to close this as soon as possible. And this isn't just about offer letters. We're talking about every HR agreement, from promotions to benefits, from compensation to offboarding, each one filled with endless approvals, signatures, and manual data entry. We knew there had to be a better way, a way to unlock the agreement trap and streamline the entire HR agreement process.
Many of us know that hiring pain too well. Doing our job while also covering for an open role can be really taxing. I'm eager to hear how the solution is going to bring some relief.
Well, as you know, we turned to Docusign's intelligent agreement management platform and built a solution that changed everything. We integrated Docusign with Workday to automate the entire agreement process, from offer letters to employee onboarding and beyond. It starts with data in the create stage. When a recruiter creates an offer, all the candidate's details, salary, role, benefits, are automatically pulled from Workday into the agreement, eliminating the tedious data entry work. Once the agreement is created, it's sent to the candidate for review and signature right from the Workday interface. So the recruiter doesn't need to leave the system, and neither does the candidate. For the developers in the audience, Workday was able to do this by integrating Docusign into their core business process tools, enabling e-signature tasks in nearly all Workday candidate and employee processes. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. The candidate receives the offer letter, they review it and sign it, all in a matter of minutes. And once the offer letter is signed, Docusign sends all the critical agreement data, like the start date, salary, and benefits, right back into Workday. So there's no manual data entry, and there's no back and forth with HR, and more importantly, no delays in onboarding.
One thing I love about this is the transparent management of agreement processes for all parties. Your hiring team has full visibility and can track the progress of the offer letters as it moves through the process. They're notified when the candidate has signed the offer, and they're ready to begin onboarding. And all of their completed documents are securely stored in Workday. Finally, for each document, Docusign automatically generates and stores a complete time-stamped history of every action taken on the agreement.
It does make a huge difference. I've heard you talk about unlocking the agreement trap a lot this year, and so I want to share a story about a joint customer who has unlocked some serious value. Let's look at some of the numbers. By integrating Docusign with Workday, Salesforce was able to reduce the time it took to complete offer letters from 5 days to less than 1. This is impressive, but where this number really stands out is when you think about the total number of hires a company makes annually. Salesforce was hiring around 10,000 people a year at that time. Take a 4-day faster hiring process times 10,000 hires, and that's equivalent to adding 109 years of work to the team. Think about that for a second. 109 years of time and energy that could be applied to roadmaps, selling, engaging customers, planning Dreamforce, etc. If you've ever been a hiring manager struggling to keep up with work while you try to close a hire, you know how great it feels to get them in the building 4 days faster.
Talk about unlocking the agreement trap. 109 years of impact. Imagine the impact that has on your product roadmap velocity, or even the time you get to spend with your family.
True, and it's not just about saving time, it's about enabling HR teams to focus on strategic work and impressing candidates with a world-class hiring experience.
Okay, so for the developers in the audience, let's talk about how this was built.
Well, Workday leveraged Docusign's auto-tagging and embedded signing capabilities, making it easy to embed agreement workflows directly into their platform. And with the bulk send API, we were able to automate mass agreement distribution, which is perfect for large-scale hiring, doing things like company policy updates and benefit re-enrollments. Since we built this, we've seen almost 7 million transactions passing through the pipes of this integration.
Thank you, Andre, for those insights and for showing us how Workday and Docusign are making a real difference for HR teams.
Thank you, Rebecca. It was my pleasure.
Today, we're also excited to announce the IAM for HR Design Partner Program. We're looking for HR professionals and developers who want to co-create with us and tackle the most painful parts of the HR agreement process. If you're interested in shaping the future of intelligent agreement management for HR, scan the QR code to join our IAM for HR community and stay up to date on the latest innovations. Next, let's look at what SAP and Docusign have done to unlock more value for users in procurement. We all know that procurement agreements are critical to all organizations, but they're also one of the most challenging to manage. Think about it. Contracts with suppliers, vendors, partners. They involve complex terms, financial data, and compliance requirements. Yet, so much of this data is trapped in static contracts. That's the agreement trap again. Thankfully, partners like SAP are helping to bring our IAM vision to life for procurement teams. Here to provide us with a closer look is Avinash Mudabidri, Senior Director, Product Management from SAP Ariba. As most of you probably know, Ariba streamlines the source-to-pay process. Avinash, thank you for being with us.
Thanks, Rebecca. I'm excited to be here. For procurement teams, there are a few key jobs that are very directly tied to data held within agreements. Maximizing contract value, ensuring contract compliance, increasing supply performance, and minimizing risk.
I'd go so far as to say that procurement teams are really at the front lines of the agreement trap. Procurement teams we speak to feel like they're flying blind with limited visibility into contract terms and statuses, inefficient approval handoffs, and disconnected tools across the source-to-pay process. But what if they could turn that frustration into efficiency? What if procurement teams had the visibility they needed at their fingertips? No more searching, no more guesswork. That's a challenge SAP Ariba and Docusign set out to solve. Can you walk us through the new Docusign CLM connector for SAP Ariba?
Absolutely. Let's walk through a typical procurement process. Your procurement team is negotiating a vendor contract. They're working through complex terms like pricing, delivery schedules, and performance metrics. But after the contract is signed, that critical data is usually locked away. It's disconnected from the systems they use to manage the procurement lifecycle, creating blind spots that make almost every part of the job more difficult. That's where Docusign's Intelligent Agreement Management comes in. Together, SAP Ariba and Docusign built an integration that unlocks the procurement agreement trap. With the Docusign CLM connector, procurement teams can create, track, and manage agreements right from within SAP Ariba. No more jumping between systems or manually entering data. Here's how it works. Now, procurement professionals can create agreements from the data collected during the sourcing process in a single click, or upload third-party documents right from the Ariba interface. All the key information, pricing, vendor details, compliance terms, even the simplest things like addresses, are automatically pulled into the agreement. For example, non-legal users can choose from pre-approved templates and fallback options to ensure agreements are aligned to standard terms, then routed, reviewed, and approved by the right people at the right time. Once it's signed, the data flows back into SAP Ariba, creating a single source of truth for your procurement process, right from the Ariba interface. But that's not all. The real magic happens when the agreement is signed. With the Docusign CLM connector, procurement teams can now track contract performance and automatically receive notifications when key deadlines like payment terms or renewal dates are approaching. The Docusign CLM connector for Ariba was designed to deliver a rich, embedded agreement experience, enabling procurement teams to create and manage agreements right from the Ariba interface with seamless data sharing between systems.
What a great example of intelligent agreement management, Avinash. We have both business users and developers in the audience today. So I'd love you to talk more about how co-developing this integration and building it directly on Ariba's APIs is working for customers.
The primary benefit users can't miss is seamless data sharing that is taking place between systems. Meaning, users don't need to switch back and forth between CLM and SAP Ariba to create a contract and track its status. For the developers in the audience, it's important to note that this integration was built on Docusign's modern data connectivity framework, which enables data portability and reuse in other IAM use cases. So everyone wins. We are keeping procurement teams happy by unlocking the agreement data and process improvements that help them hit their goals. We are keeping legal happy by reducing risk in the process. Docusign's workflow engine ensures agreements are routed to the right people at the right time with fewer errors and risks. And the best part is that as both Docusign and SAP's platforms continue to grow, we have the framework required to evolve together.
This is exactly why we're so focused on intelligent agreement management and unlocking the agreement trap. There is incredible value, and we're going to put it to work for our procurement teams. Thank you, Avinash.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Next, I'm proud to announce that the Docusign CLM connector for SAP Ariba is available in the Docusign App Center. I encourage you all to check it out. Your procurement teams will love it. We are continuing to work closely with the SAP team to develop additional capabilities for this integration based on customer feedback. But we're not stopping there. I'd be remiss if I didn't touch on how Docusign is also addressing arguably the largest challenge procurement teams face, which is value leakage. Because the truth is, creating and executing vendor agreements is only the beginning. You must also be able to access and make sense of the data within them so you can answer critical questions like, how much are we spending with this vendor? And what contracts are expiring in the next 90 days? Or Van Halen's all-time favorite. Does this contract contain a clause that stipulates no brown M&Ms backstage? True story. Van Halen did this to see who was really paying attention to the details of their agreements for safety. If there were brown M&Ms in the bowl backstage, they knew the promoter didn't read the agreement and may have also cut corners in other areas like safety. With Docusign's new upcoming management capabilities, customers can set rule-based notifications for upcoming due dates and search for or report out on scheduled obligations. Identify important renewal, payment, and termination terms automatically, and capture unique obligations manually, add associated tasks, and track fulfillment progress. They could also ask which color M&Ms are required by Van Halen. But that's not where our journey with procurement ends either. Starting today, we're looking for customers and partners who want to design and co-innovate with us as we build our upcoming IAM for procurement application. These insights will shape the first intelligent agreement management application designed specifically for procurement teams. If you'd like to partner with us, please scan the QR code to join our IAM for procurement community group and also apply for the IAM call for design partners. Next, I'm joined by our partner from Sandbox Banking, Ravi Balasubramanian, who built an innovative app to streamline customer acquisition and management processes for banks. Welcome, Ravi.
Thanks, Rebecca. At Sandbox Banking, we're all about pushing the boundaries of what's possible in one of the hardest places to do it, banking. And if banks can do this to enhance their customer journey, so can you. For banks and credit unions, embracing new technology while the business runs on legacy platforms can be difficult and expensive. We've changed that by giving financial institutions a no-code way to connect their banking platforms with partner ecosystems. That's where Docusign comes in. Let's imagine a scenario, something you've all experienced either as a banking client or even in your own business, regardless of the industry you're in. The customer wants to make a change to their account information, like their contact name, postal address, phone number, or email. Sounds easy, right? But a simple task like this can actually be very manual on the back end when systems are disconnected, resulting in heavy administrative burden and a less than ideal customer experience. Now, if we assume the data collection step has already been automated with a Docusign web form, you still need to take all that data and manually update it in your internal system of record.
So let's do the math. If you have 5 different systems to update, and it takes an employee 5 minutes to do that, then updates from 100 or more clients would burn an entire 8-hour workday. It's easy to see how quickly the time drain adds up.
Yes, that adds up, and it's the kind of work that people really don't like doing. Glue from Sandbox and Docusign Maestro solves this pain point by automating the end-to-end process. Docusign IAM enables customized no-code agreement workflows that connect with Glue to flow agreement data to and from core banking systems. You can make massive impacts on both the employee experience and dramatically improve the customer journey by eliminating this tedious work, updating systems of record for every agreement. By building on the Docusign IAM platform and Maestro, we were able to create customized agreement workflows so we could focus on the unique part of our business. Together, we've created a solution that ensures a secure and efficiently maintained system of record. We leveraged the Docusign Developer Console to build integration in just a few weeks, and then published it in Docusign App Center. Now, any bank or credit union with Maestro can benefit from automated account maintenance workflows.
Wow, that's great. Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you, Rebecca.
The key takeaway here is not that this is a banking use case. Rather, any of you in the audience could envision a similar problem in your company and solve it just as easily. What we've seen today is just a glimpse of what can be built by entrepreneurs, integrators, and developers to unlock the agreement trap. Keep your eye out for movement in the agreement ecosystem. Startups like Form Assembly are making it easy to create forms and connect the data into the agreement. Bond Terms is pioneering the notion of standard open-sourced agreements to simplify the create and commit stages. And HighSpot is working to streamline B2B sales agreements with Docusign integrations and automations. And finally, I'm thrilled to announce the international expansion of our IAM applications. First, IAM for Customer Experience was released globally in September. Second, IAM for Sales and IAM Core will be available in Canada, Australia, the UK, France, and Germany in December. And third, due to customer interest, we are extending availability of IAM for Sales and IAM Core globally for customers with agreements in English. This means they can take advantage of AI extractions in Navigator right away for English language agreements. More languages are planned for Navigator in 2025. Next up is Larry Jin, VP of Product, with the next big announcements and news.
Hello, everyone. We have so much to share with you today. As we begin, picture this. Developers everywhere pushing the limits of their creativity, building applications, workflows, and solving problems, yet always hitting a wall when it comes to agreements. These agreements, the lifeblood of any business, have been locked in static, scattered documents, and the developer tools to really unlock them haven't existed. This is the agreement trap. Earlier this year, we began our journey to break free from that trap with tools like Docusign Navigator, new AI capabilities, and Docusign Maestro. But we knew there was a bigger problem still to solve. We knew the true drivers of innovation, you, the builders, needed more power to unlock the agreement trap and build new apps and extensions for customers. And today I'm thrilled to share how we're empowering you to do just that. We're announcing Docusign for Developers, a powerful suite of capabilities and tools that marks the next step in turning agreements into a source of innovation. This is your chance to transform agreements, and here's how you can do it. Now, many of you have already been building with Docusign using e-signature for years, but there was always a sense that more could be done. You were restricted. Agreements remained static, and despite embedding e-sign, you couldn't fully harness the potential of agreement automation. But that changes now. With Docusign for Developers, we're giving you the ability to extend Docusign products and workflows, integrate more advanced capabilities like AI-powered insights, build and publish apps that can reach Docusign's vast customer base, or even serve your internal teams. And it all starts with our new Developer Center experience. Built by developers for developers, it's your one-stop destination to explore, integrate with, and extend Docusign faster than ever before. We're also expanding our suite of APIs to cover the full agreement process, going far beyond e-sign. And now you can integrate much more of Docusign's intelligent agreement management capabilities into your applications. Take Maestro, for example. With its new APIs, you can trigger low-code, no-code workflows and embed them in your app, speeding up development of your custom integration and making it easy to add new features over time. And next up, at the heart of intelligent agreement management is Docusign Navigator. It's not just a repository. It's a living, breathing brain for your agreements. Navigator organizes and extracts critical information such as contract expiration dates and payment terms using AI. And now you, the developers, can harness this AI through our Navigator API to integrate agreement data into your own applications. Imagine pulling key insights directly into tools like Tableau or Power BI to supercharge your business intelligence. Well, now you can. And we didn't stop there. We're introducing extensibility, which enables developers and partners to build features that extend Docusign's out-of-the-box capabilities. You can create extension apps, distribute them through the App Center, and in the future, even monetize them in an app marketplace. So how can you get started? With Docusign for Developers, we've created an experience that gives you everything you need. A new developer console, powerful APIs, and an ever-growing dev community. We've seen early successes from Quick, Velatura, and Neuroflash. And you heard earlier from partners like Sandbox, who have built and listed in the App Center. Quick, as an example, found themselves in a world where forms were the barrier between happy customers, happy employees, and key business outcomes. Just think about it. In wealth management, every financial process, from opening an account to signing up for an annuity, requires forms. But filling them out was only half the battle. Afterwards, someone had to manually read and enter that data into a system, a time-consuming and error-prone process that no staff member enjoyed. But Quick saw this frustration as an opportunity. With Form Extract, built on Docusign's platform, they developed a solution that uses AI to extract data from completed forms with near-perfect accuracy. This structured data seamlessly flows into business processes, eliminating manual entry and empowering their clients to move faster. What was once a source of frustration became a smooth, automated process that saves time and improves accuracy, thanks to Docusign's extensibility. And similarly, Velatura faced a different kind of pain, managing the healthcare consent process for over 12 million patient records. Their system was drowning in fragmented, paper-based workflows that required manual consent management, slowing down vital data sharing processes between healthcare providers. By building on Docusign, Velatura has created an extension app using Maestro. This app digitizes patient consent management, creating a streamlined, standardized workflow that is scalable across their entire network. And what was once a major bottleneck in healthcare has become an automated, intelligent process, transforming how they handle sensitive information. Velatura is now on the path to simplifying patient data exchange at an unprecedented scale. NeuroFlash, a systems integrator, faced the agreement trap head-on. Their enterprise clients needed to connect Docusign with systems like Coupa, SAP, and Workday to unlock agreement data trapped in silos. The process of integrating these systems had been slow, painful, manual, until NeuroFlash stepped in. And using Docusign's new IAM APIs and partnering with MuleSoft, they developed the Docusign IAM and MuleSoft Connector app. This app connects agreement data across enterprise systems, making the once disconnected processes unified and actionable. And NeuroFlash turned a tangle of fragmented systems into a cohesive, integrated workflow. And these stories are just the beginning. Quick, Velatura, NeuroFlash, they all started with pain points that have frustrated all of us at some point in our lives. But by embracing Docusign for developers, they've transformed obstacles into opportunities. They are the heroes in their organizations, driving innovation and efficiency in ways that weren't possible before. And you, the builders in this room, can follow in their footsteps by solving your own challenges. With these new capabilities and Docusign for developers, we're not just building an ecosystem, we're working to create an agreement economy where entrepreneurs can start new businesses that transform the agreement process, like the ones we saw from Quick, Presidio, Bond Terms, Form Assembly, and Sandbox. And partners can build new integrations like we saw from NeuroFlash. Developers in regulated industries like healthcare can build new internal solutions, just like the one we saw from Velatura. IAM is a new era for Docusign and for builders. We've been a product company for 2 decades, but with IAM, we're becoming a platform company. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. I certainly wish it did, but we're excited about what you can do already with our new platform services and developer tools. Our next chapter is an ecosystem chapter. The idea of an emerging agreement economy is key to this. It represents a shift from a list of integrations to a thriving marketplace where developers, whether partners, entrepreneurs, customers, even competitors, are building innovative solutions for Docusign customers. In this new economy, agreements are no longer just static documents. They become the backbone of automated, intelligent workflows that drive business outcomes. We're working on an app marketplace as an evolution of our App Center, where developers will not only be able to build and distribute their apps, but also directly monetize their solutions. This marketplace opens up new opportunities for everyone in the agreement ecosystem, whether you're enhancing agreements with AI, integrating with enterprise systems, or building new workflow automations. Docusign customers will be able to tap into a world of tailored solutions and empower developers to unlock new revenue streams. This transition from the App Center to the App Marketplace will take time, but we're so excited to see you here at Discover next year to share what you've built. So, as you explore the rest of Docusign Discover, think about how you can leverage these capabilities in your own organization. The agreement trap is real, but with the right tools and the right vision, we can unlock its potential together. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing what you'll build here at Discover next year. Next up, we're joined by Microsoft and Robert Chatwani, our President of Growth, to talk about how everyone can be a builder and some exciting new integrations with Microsoft Copilot.
Hey everyone, I'm thrilled to be here with Patrick Chandazan, who's head of developer advocacy at Microsoft. We're going to have a great conversation today. Patrick, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you, Robert. Great to be here for the birth of a new platform.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, we're going to get into all of that. So this past April, many of you saw the launch of the new Docusign platform, as Patrick just mentioned, along with a lot of our new platform services. We've launched Docusign Maestro, Docusign Navigator, and Docusign AI. Now, these services power not only the apps that we build, but they're also open and extensible. So this means that all of you, our customers, entrepreneurs, developers, and partners, you can use these services to build new and better applications and integrations into the Docusign platform. And by build, I don't just mean that you need to know how to write code. Is that right, Patrick?
Absolutely, Robert. And that's what's so powerful about the AI era. We're living in a time when you don't have to be a developer to make a meaningful impact on the way your business runs with technology. Whether it is business teams building low-code and no-code automation and workflows, or developers using APIs and open platforms to rapidly build new applications, there are now countless ways to drive innovation and solve problems. My job at Microsoft is to bridge the gap between developers and business users with the tools they need to innovate. It's also why Microsoft has focused on delivering a platform. We want to help people and organizations achieve more with AI on the Microsoft Cloud. You can adopt Microsoft Copilot, create your own Copilot or agentic systems on Microsoft Cloud using Microsoft AI Studio for developers or Microsoft Copilot Studio for power users.
Okay, so fascinating. This is an important partnership for DocuSign. We have a lot to sort of dive into there. Now, first, I want to start with the fact that you've worked with developers and business leaders for just a number of years. And so you know that there's a massive amount of frustration that comes with how business workflows and tools often work today. Historically, and I know from personal experience, it's been intimidating often to be a builder. A lot of business users like me often feel that if they're not deeply technical, they can't necessarily change the technology. They cannot exchange and interact with developers in ways to come up with sort of very technical solutions. So I'm going to start by asking you, Patrick, what's your advice for people who themselves aren't developers or may not think they know enough to engage with developers to address some of these challenges? How can they approach this?
Yeah, it starts with communication. The key is not to worry too much about technical jargon. Developers can do amazing work when the problem is clearly defined. So my advice to business users is to draft a simple problem statement, provide context around the problem, the impact, the cost, the tools involved, and then communication becomes even more important today because natural language is becoming the language you use to build automations. Whether you use Copilot or something like GitHub Workspace or Power Apps Plan Designer, this is a great starting point for a first conversation with developers who may be able to build or integrate a solution. For many business users, this simple conversation can be intimidating, but I want everyone to know this is basically how all software projects and applications start. And when your company is using tools from platform vendors like Microsoft and DocuSign, your developers may be able to build solutions much faster than you realize. That's the power of platform services.
Well, easy enough. I think people are naturally good at describing problems. Oftentimes, the challenge is that we're unaware that software tools exist or that developers can quickly leverage some of these tools without necessarily reinventing the wheel. Not everything has to be a large, complex project. Isn't that right?
Exactly. And that's one thing the audience can take away from Discover. The use cases you've been showing, the new platform services and DocuSign for developers, are all new tools that people can leverage as they think about how they drive change in their own agreement processes. Once you have clarity on the problem and some understanding of what's possible, developers can take it the rest of the way.
Yeah. So look, Patrick, I love to say that the power of any good platform is that you can't necessarily predict what will be built on top of it. And so we're excited because with the release of DocuSign for developers, everyone watching here can really start to have these conversations with their dev teams. And that sort of brings us to our second point. With tools like Power Automate, DocuSign Maestro, I just really love this idea that anyone can be a builder, even if they don't know how to code.
That's right. Power Automate and DocuSign Maestro are empowering non-technical users to streamline tasks and processes across applications and services. For example, a major insurance company integrated DocuSign with Power Automate, reducing the processing time for critical agreements from 4 hours to just 15 minutes. This has resulted in a saving of over 3,600 labor hours annually. Now, Robert, insurance company is a good example, but I really want to see how you use your own product. Those are always the best examples.
Well, for sure. Let's take an example. Very simple example that I believe all companies deal with, which is NDAs. Everyone has those. And I have a feeling that if you added up all of the time that people spend on just executing NDAs, you'd sort of be adding up time for the rest of your life, right? This is a very common type of agreement that almost every company has. At Docusign, just to give you an example, our legal and procurement teams, they set out to make sure that we had a world-class process in place for getting NDAs completed fast. So very common agreement type, but we had a lot of friction in sort of getting this done. So how do we do it? We used our own product, Maestro, to quickly build a simple workflow that automated the process for a lot of our staff and effectively enabled a self-serve agreement experience, the self-serve contracting experience. The idea here is that self-serve means no waiting, no emailing back and forth with the legal team. We sort of remove all of the friction from the end user experience in getting an NDA executed and initiated. So it took just minutes to really create a workflow. And if I add up all of the time that it saved Docusign employees throughout the world, it's really thousands and thousands of hours. So Maestro is just one example. It makes it really easy for anybody to sort of build and configure a workflow to make the steps of this agreement process much easier and to sort of put this together. And so as steps are added to the workflow, the reality is data starts to flow across all of these steps, ultimately meaning that the requester of an agreement or somebody who's asking for an agreement to be drafted doesn't have to manually enter the data at each step along the way. Docusign actually does it for them with speed, accuracy, in a way that's just not possible with manual processes. So effectively, we now have the ability to easily extend workflow capabilities across the entire stack. And voila, now our staff can actually complete transactions much faster and much easier. So with Docusign Maestro, we can easily adapt and refine our workflow as processes evolve. That's sort of the idea, is to adapt to the needs of the business. As they change, the workflow can change. And so I want to make sure that everyone's aware that in their organizations, if they want to build the skills and empower their teams to use Maestro, we're making that really easy. We've got a free class, in fact, on Docusign University that anybody can access and really understand how they can do this themselves. Now, we're going to take this one step further, Patrick. I want to talk about how anyone can collaborate with developers and how users can actually create their own workflows. And here's the question. What happens when companies join forces to simplify this together, right? This is sort of the origination of the Microsoft and Docusign relationship, where our partnership really shines, in my perspective. Our goal together is to help customers unlock what we call the agreement trap. And the reality is that together with Docusign, it's partners like Microsoft that really help make this possible.
That's exactly right, Robert. This agreement trap is one of the biggest challenges companies face today. And that's because agreements are scattered across systems, making it hard to access and use the data inside them. And the challenge becomes even greater when people are juggling multiple tools to get their work done. Our goal is to meet them right in their workflow, eliminating the need to constantly switch between different systems to find what they're looking for.
Well, this is where it gets me really excited, which is we have an integration with Microsoft 365 Copilot. And we're now able to unlock agreement data and deliver it directly into the tools that people already use in their day-to-day work, tools like Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Teams. And so, Patrick, I'm really excited that with Docusign and Copilot together, teams no longer have to toggle between systems and applications to search for that agreement data, right? It's right there in context where they need it most. And so what I really love is that the partnership between our companies and organizations is really around breaking down these barriers and ultimately creating better experiences for those using these tools. I'm personally excited that just this past September, we released our newest integration to Microsoft 365 Copilot. We can bring all of these capabilities to line of business users. My favorite examples are in sales and HR, procurement, but the list goes on. And Patrick, I was hoping maybe you could walk us through some of these examples.
Sure. So let's talk about it. HR teams can use Microsoft 365 Copilot to instantly return a list of relevant HR agreements, like open offer letters or other candidate documents, within the context of their application. They can simply ask Copilot for a list of open agreements. Copilot will analyze the request and pull from the data sources that it's connected. In this case, it is their Docusign library. Then Copilot returns the list of agreements, inclusive of document name, recipient, date, time, and status. Or users can even get more specific and ask questions like, did Bill sign his offer letter? All this data used to be hard to find, trapped in static PDFs, scattered across your company. Now imagine applying this power to other use cases across the business. Whether you're in sales, procurement, legal, or finance, you can use Microsoft 365 Copilot to ask similar questions about their agreements, allowing users across the organization to boost productivity with the information they need right at their fingertips.
This is great. So I think everyone can see here that whether they're collaborating with developers, whether they're building automated workflows, or they're a company partnering to deliver smarter solutions, one thing is super clear, that in the AI era, doesn't matter who you are, what role you have, or what organization you're part of, everyone can be a builder.
And let's get out there and start building. Thank you all, and we can't wait to see what you'll create.
What an incredible start to the first annual Docusign Discover. Now, we've covered a lot of ground, so let's take a moment to recap before we dive into the rest of what's in store. For HR and procurement teams, we covered the great existing integrations with Workday and SAP Ariba. We also announced design partner programs for IAM for HR and IAM for procurement. And for the developers in the audience, we've launched Docusign for Developers, a new toolkit designed to make it easier than ever to build on Docusign. Whether you're integrating with existing systems or creating new applications, this toolkit is your key to unlocking the agreement trap. The agreement ecosystem we're building together has the potential to unlock immense value. Thank you for being part of this journey with us.
So far, we've talked about how agreements can be transformed into dynamic, intelligent assets. I want to take that a step further. What if you could unlock the true value of the data hidden within your agreements with the power of AI? Docusign believes that combining AI with agreement data opens up a vast new frontier for customers and developers, empowering you to harness the full value of your agreements. Let me paint a picture for you. Your company is on the brink of a critical renewal. Maybe it's a key supplier, or maybe it's a major client contract. The data you need, the exact renewal date, the pricing terms, the clauses that you need to renegotiate, they're all buried in a 30-page contract. Well, with 20 years of leadership in e-signature solutions, Docusign is now leveraging that expertise to unlock even greater potential with AI. Let's take a closer look at what this means in practice. First, we're helping to accelerate agreement preparation, review, and that tedious task of negotiations to reduce delays and close that agreement with AI-assisted review. Second, we're helping users drive business decisions with agreement insights to seize opportunities while reducing risk. And third, we're bringing agreement intelligence to the places your users work with partners to enhance speed and agility. Now, let's take a closer look at how we're reducing delays by accelerating agreement preparation and reviews. Contract review is one of the most time-consuming and friction-heavy aspects of negotiations. We're excited to launch AI-assisted review for CLM this month to help your organization create more favorable and compliant agreements faster. With AI-assisted review, we're automating one of the most time-consuming aspects of agreements, contract review. The AI scans agreements for compliance with your internal legal standards, flagging issues, and even proposing new clauses, all within the tools your teams are already using, like Microsoft Word. Imagine this. Instead of spending hours reading through dense legal text, your teams can rely on AI to spot the red flags for them, saving time and ensuring compliance. A contract may change hands many times, going back and forth repeatedly. And as your organization grows, so does the number of agreements you need to review. But that increase in volume is rarely matched by additional legal headcount, which creates bottlenecks, especially during end-of-quarter deal closings. By enabling legal adjacent roles to handle first-pass reviews and lightweight negotiations independently, legal teams are freed up to focus on more complex strategic negotiations. When edits are needed, AI-assisted review proposes markups, either from your clause library or generated by AI, and applies them with a click. AI will also generate a comment to explain the why behind changes to your counterparty, streamlining negotiations by improving transparency. And it doesn't stop there. You can generate new contract language by simply describing in plain English what you need, and AI takes care of the rest. AI-assisted review also includes an AI-powered Q&A experience, allowing reviewers to better self-serve contract-related questions, such as, can you summarize payment terms under this contract? Or, what are the renewal terms? And not only do you get an answer, but it also highlights the relevant source text within seconds. In short, Docusign AI-assisted review accelerates contracting and empowers teams while helping to enable legal compliance processes. And that is a win for everyone. All right, let's switch gears to how we plan to help you drive business decisions with agreement insights. As we've mentioned, agreements contain vast amounts of valuable data, and it's often scattered and trapped within static files, which poses significant risks and missed opportunities for your business. In May 2024, we launched Navigator, our intelligent agreement repository, which includes AI-powered data extractions. You can now prioritize your highest value agreements and stay on top of important business activities, like renewals and revenue forecasting. AI is used to surface critical agreement details, making it easier to understand complex agreements, as well as search and filter your documents efficiently. We started with B2B sales terms in May and have since expanded into financial, procurement, and legal terms, unlocking data for decisions on payment terms, confidentiality, and governing laws, just to name a few. And in Q4, we will expand Navigator to Australia, Canada, the UK, France, and Germany. While these extractions will cover major use cases, we understand that every business has unique needs. That's why, by early next year, Docusign will also allow you to define custom terms and agreement types. You can tailor the terms to your specific industry or organization to make better strategic decisions. Imagine being able to create custom attributes that help you track which customers have opted into specific licensing terms or monitor sustainability requirements across your supply chain. This will provide you with unprecedented control and insight into previously inaccessible data that is most critical to your business without additional manual effort. Let's move on to our final topic. To unlock the full potential of agreement data throughout the entire lifecycle, we recognize the importance of meeting users where they already work, whether that's in CRM platforms, HR systems, or custom apps and dashboards. It's about seamlessly integrating Docusign AI insights into the tools your teams rely on every day, beyond just Docusign. Our ultimate agreement AI vision hinges on collaboration. We want to empower our partners to innovate alongside us. That's why we've already taken major steps in this direction with partners like Microsoft and Salesforce. In Agentforce, we will integrate Docusign AI insights. Soon, sales teams will be able to query and retrieve real-time agreement insights directly within their workflows, so they don't waste time going between different systems. For instance, let's say you are a sales rep that has been handed a lead, and you need to get quickly up to speed. You can now instantly access a summary of key agreement details, such as pricing or discount information. all without leaving the Salesforce UI, which is powered by Docusign AI. The next phase of this journey is even more exciting. We are enabling developers to tap into Docusign AI insights with our Navigator API, driving faster decisions and greater organizational efficiency. The Navigator API allows you to seamlessly integrate agreement intelligence into your existing investments and applications, whether that's business intelligence systems, data warehouses or lakes, or custom reporting tools. The API is live in beta today. We urge you to try it out and start playing around with the possibilities. And with that, we have wrapped up our snapshot of AI investments. Thank you all for joining us today. Next, we'll be joined by my colleague, Tanya Fadul, as she talks with a customer who has found success by turning agreements into a competitive advantage.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tanya Fadul, Vice President of Customer Innovation here at Docusign. And today, I'm thrilled to share a story that highlights the true power of intelligent agreement management in action. Joining me is Dean Rubino, Managing Partner at KPC Private Funds. Welcome, Dean.
Thanks, Tanya. Let's dive right in. So for those who may not be familiar, KPC works with independent wealth advisors to thoughtfully integrate alternative investments into their portfolios.
Okay, great. And I know that you have quite a story to tell about something that's been frustrating you and your customers. Can you elaborate?
I do. So imagine this. You're a new client, you're excited about your investment, or you're an advisor excited to bring a new client aboard. But to get started, you're faced with a mountain of paperwork, filling in the same details over and over again. For us, on the back end, it's even worse. Our analysts were stuck manually entering data and tracking down signatures across multiple documents. KPC's business is a little unique in that every month, dozens of people have to sign an agreement with us. It was a nightmare, not just for our clients, but for our internal team. And quite frankly, it was slowing down our ability to grow. The agreement package that we use is several hundred pages long, and they're filling in and signing in multiple places, and depending upon their facts and circumstances, the places in which they're signing can change. And we're all doing this every month. So being able to automate this is critical, not only to our sanity, but also to that of our clients.
I imagine, because here you were, managing complex investment portfolios, but at the finish line, at the time where you're trying to onboard these new clients, you're getting bogged down in paperwork? That is so painful. It's painful to even say out loud. That's exactly what we call the agreement trap. It's making it harder for your team to focus on what really matters, which is finding the best investments for your clients. So what changed? How did you break free of that trap and make your business grow even faster?
Well, despite our firm's success in simplifying the investment process, we were still struggling with the agreement process from creation to management. And that's when we turned to Docusign IAM. We realized we didn't just need an e-signature solution, we needed a way to streamline the entire agreement process from start to finish. Every investor has to complete the same dense packet of agreements, regardless of their unique circumstances. Some sections could be skipped, other sections are required, but it's not always obvious which ones apply based on the specific account details of the client. This confused almost every customer, and obviously it slowed things down. Analysts at the firm then had to manually complete agreement packages on behalf of the clients. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not what we pay our analysts for.
Of course not. And we're hearing these stories all the time. It's why we launched IAM for customer experience as our first IAM application. And getting new customers across the finish line should really never be the hardest part of the deal.
Well, with IAM for customer experience, we completely transformed how we manage our client onboarding. Now, instead of manually handling every agreement, we've automated the process. Using Docusign Maestro, web forms, we capture the client data once, and it's automatically populated across every relevant document. It's not just the mapping of where people have to sign and in what place, it's the ability to use the data to shape a better customer experience. With Docusign IAM for CX, we now have data going directly to and from a web form. That then generates and routes an agreement automatically. This lets my analysts focus on being analysts instead of customer support. It also reduces errors and saves days of time, and makes the process of becoming a customer feel like getting on an escalator instead of climbing endless stairs.
I love that analogy. And it's right. The data is really the key unlock here. It's what we mean when we say intelligent agreement management. It's not just about the signature anymore. We're making the data work for you.
That's right. It's a three-pronged approach for us. It's the mapping of the data, it's the customer experience of the process, and more importantly, it's the workflow. The workflow that now we're able to customize for each shop that we deal with.
I'm so glad to hear this, and I'm happy to hear that it's made such an impact on your business so far. So you mentioned realizing that you needed a solution to help from start to finish. Now tell me, what made you look at Docusign for your Beyond eSignature solution?
Well, we've been a longtime customer of Docusign, initially using it just for sending and signing envelopes, probably like most people do. However, our integration with Charles Schwab revealed the full potential of Docusign, especially for client onboarding. We were one of only 3 private funds invited by Schwab to participate in a beta program of theirs. And we're now undergoing a similar process with Fidelity, where we're essentially integrating with their Docusign. And now our ability to get agreements done quickly and easily has maximized our potential with these partners. Docusign has proven to be a competitive advantage for us in our business.
Absolutely. Many people forget that point, which is that the experience of becoming a customer and using your product is as important as the product itself. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I'd agree. We're continually unlocking new capabilities. We have an internal project where we're building out our new customer acquisition process with Maestro, with web forms, and with extensive conditional logic. I'm a business user. I don't have a team of developers in-house to do this work for us. So one of the tips that I have is using the Docusign community. I get a ton of value from the community as we work through these new processes. We all learn from each other in what's possible and how to best execute.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I mean, you just get stronger together. And thank you for the plug for Docusign community. Well, there's nothing like a success story. So can you share some of the results that you've seen so far?
Absolutely. So by automating our agreement processes with Docusign IAM, we've saved about 70% in terms of time commitment and resource strain. And we're just getting started. We've also seen a huge reduction in the amount of templates needed, simplifying unique signing orders and generating agreements. Every part of bringing on a new customer is faster and easier for us now. Overall, we're forecasting a 90% improvement in our workflow efficiency and with fewer mistakes. And my analysts can now finally go back to finding the best investments instead of shuffling stacks of paperwork.
What an improvement to your business. Thank you so much, Dean, for sharing that with all of us. And you know, Dean's story isn't unique. There are countless companies out there struggling with the same challenges. The good news is, you don't have to stay stuck in the agreement trap. Whether you're managing investments, sales contracts, or procurement agreements, there's a solution that can help you unlock the full potential of your agreements, just like KPC Private Funds did. Every company can make their customer acquisition process a competitive advantage. In our next session, Erica Fensom shows us how the agreement economy is supporting nonprofits by helping them to deliver on their mission. You won't want to miss it.
For those tuning in right now, my name is Erica Fensom, Vice President of Corporate Affairs at Docusign. As we approach the final session of Docusign Discover, I'm excited to share how Docusign.org is playing a pivotal role in expanding the agreement economy. At Docusign, our mission is to bring agreements to life. We believe that relationships start with agreements, and that when people come together and agree, great things happen next. We believe that every organization should have access to the tools that make it possible for them to deliver on their mission. According to recent research from Deloitte and Docusign, organizations with disconnected agreement workflows take 2 weeks longer to complete the agreement lifecycle. Today, 34% of nonprofit beneficiaries have to wait a month or longer to receive assistance. Now imagine the impact you have by accelerating that process. Docusign is committed to bringing IAM to nonprofits, to help them streamline operations, maximize resources, and enhance engagement with their community. So what does that commitment look like? Well, we know that resources are often tight in the nonprofit world, and we want to ensure that our technology is accessible to those who are making a difference. That's why we'll be introducing a nonprofit offering for our applications, which we believe will make it easier for nonprofits to invest in technology that drives the mission forward. We look forward to sharing more details soon, but if you want to be the first to hear about the offering, please join our interest list. Our commitment also includes creating a thriving ecosystem that supports social good. As Alan mentioned earlier, the agreement trap is too large for any one company to solve alone. The agreement ecosystem will empower partners and developers to build innovations that help nonprofits navigate complex agreement challenges so they can deliver aid and support where it's needed most. Today, we're seeing momentum with partners like Microsoft, Submittable, Salesforce, Benevity, Flux, and Workday. They are all creating custom solutions that drive efficiencies for organizations in all areas of their operations, from grant agreements to HR. These collaborations are about more than just technology. They're about empowering nonprofits so they can focus on what truly matters, delivering on their mission. And our commitment goes beyond technology and partnerships. In 2024, the Docusign Foundation donated $1 million in grants focused on our climate and communities. Our first grant recipient is the Wildlife Conservation Society. As a global conservation organization working across more than 50 countries and in all the world's oceans, WCS is a key driver of the 30 by 30 initiative. This is the world's largest commitment to conservation, with a target of protecting at least 30% of land and sea worldwide by 2030. The grant funding supports fundamental innovations that will significantly improve how the conservation community operates. It funds WCS's impact platform, driving the digital transformation of conservation and a more inclusive approach to securing conservation outcomes. The other recipient of our Climate Action Grant is the Forest Stewardship Council. The organization promotes responsible management of the world's forest and has grown to become the world's most respected and widespread forest certification system. FSC is using the grant to support the critical staff and infrastructure needed to help build and sustain the Verified Impact Program. This allows certificate holders to make impact claims from ecosystem services such as carbon, biodiversity, soil, water, recreation, and cultural services. These grants are one way DocuSign supports those who are on the front lines of addressing some of the most pressing climate challenges of our time. Whether you represent a nonprofit, a small business, or a large corporation, you might be wondering, how can you start to empower change through your agreements? Well, one easy way is to introduce an environment, social, and governance clause into your contracts. We're excited to share that Bond Terms and DocuSign are working together to develop a standardized environment, social, and governance, or ESG, agreement. Bond Terms is an exciting startup that simplifies the agreement process by offering standard agreements for common business needs in areas like NDAs, SaaS, professional services, data protection, and compliance. These open source standardized agreements are created by a committee of expert in-house and law firm lawyers and are designed to be balanced and easy to use. They eliminate the need for endless negotiations and revisions. This will make it easier for any company to improve its environment, social, and governance efforts across their supply chain and will be available next month through Bond Terms. If you're interested in learning more about the ESG Standard Agreement, visit docusign.org. Thank you for being part of this incredible community. Together, we can make a lasting impact, not only in our teams, but within our organizations, and within our broader communities as well. Also, we partnered with DevPost to create a hackathon entirely focused on agreements, Unlocked. For the developers tuning in, we hope you sign up to build innovative solutions to help nonprofits achieve their mission. Keep coding and learning with us into the new year.
Thank you all for joining us at DocuSign Discover 2024. It's been an incredible time, full of insights, innovations, and inspiration. Now, let's take a moment to recap some of the exciting news from today. First and foremost, we introduced Docusign for Developers, a powerful toolkit that makes it easier than ever to build apps, connectors, and integrations on Docusign. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a partner, or a corporate developer, this suite of tools is designed to accelerate innovation across the entire agreement ecosystem. Next, we announced a call for design partners to work with us on intelligent agreement management apps for HR and for procurement. These apps are going to revolutionize how agreements are managed in these critical lines of business, helping you unlock the full value of your agreements. And let's not forget the incredible partners that we highlighted. Companies like SAP Ariba, Workday, Sandbox, Quick, and Bond Terms. They showcased how they're building innovative solutions on the Docusign platform, solving real business challenges in ways that were unimaginable just a few years ago. We're excited for the next batch of startups, builders, and entrepreneurs who are going to be building on Docusign, and we know that many of you are out there who are going to be doing exactly that. As we close, I want to leave you with this thought. The agreement ecosystem that we're building together has the power to reshape how businesses operate. It's about turning static documents into dynamic assets that drive growth and efficiency. And we're not doing this alone. This is a movement. Each of you plays a vital role in its success. Thank you again for being an incredible part of Docusign Discover 2024. I can't wait to see the solutions that you build and the impact that you're going to make by the time that we get to Docusign Discover 2025. Let's continue to unlock the agreement trap and build the future of agreements together.